Fuck.
Busting it up for a couple of bucks, but it ain't no thing. Just
At the light,
Jeez.
turn right onto North Central Street.
Oh my God.
First right onto East 4th.
Yeah. Heyo, welcome back to the Three Borrachos Show. I am your host, Aaron, and my tipsy compadres.
Hey, yo, it's your buddy Mike.
What's up, nerds? It's Gabe.
Hey, it has been a month since episode 5 with Michelle. Wow, we have a lot to talk about today. Half of the reason was because we went to Zool, 2 weekends ago?
Yeah.
And so we couldn't do our episode after that. So we got a lot to talk about there. I also got foot surgery last weekend, so that also put a damper in some things.
He's really been kind of a woman about it.
He's been kind of like handicap man.
Hey, but I did talk to the doctor. I told him about our podcast. He better be watching. He said I could drink, so we're all good.
The fact that you asked a doctor if you could drink kind of blows my mind.
It makes for a good story.
It is what it is, you know. Yeah. So, hey, welcome back. Okay, so let's start with what's in your glass, Gabe? What you got?
All right, so I got a nuke right out the gate. So a North Park Brujos collab together as one. So 10% triple IPA because we only bring heaters on this one.
Tripping on
and
triples.
then triple dry hopped on top of that. We got lots of Citra, at times 3 different types of Citra hops: Nelson, Raku, Peacherine, and Waimea. I've never heard of that one. I probably just butchered the hell out of that. But phenomenal beer, lots of heat to it. But you know, when you got Brujos in North Park, I don't know, that's kind of a magic
100%.
magic spell.
Yeah, I've had that one. It is phenomenal.
It's great.
Like it's probably a 4.75.
Yeah,
So
it's
super
where
good.
I'm at. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, very good.
Mike, what you got?
So I brought Eugene Zach's with pineapple. So Fidens put this out kind of intermittently. This is, of course, one of their staples. And so it's phenomenal. Like if you like Eugene Zach's, this is just a step above.
Yeah.
So is the pineapple pretty?
It's. I would say it's not a giant pineapple punch. No,
Yeah.
but it's much more subtle, and so it gives you that. I mean, Eugene Zach's is already super good.
Yeah.
When you
Eugene
throw
Zach's
in
is
a
a heater.
little pineapple flavor on top of it, it's super good. Right, 8.5%.
Awesome. So I brought some North Park as well. Ghost Foo. This is a collab with Parish. It's a Westie double IPA. It's with Simcoe Dynaboost and double dry hopped with Citra, Mosaic, and Amarillo. And it is awesome.
Yeah.
I must say.
Westie.
It is.
Yeah.
It's pretty
It's
good.
a pretty clear glass there, Aaron, compared to me and Mike's.
I know. I went, bold, but it paid off. So
And
I'm
I
happy
got one
with
of
it.
those in the fridge too, and I'm looking forward to it. Just to get that new Westie added into the mix every once in a
Get
while.
that crispiness.
Yeah, absolutely. So.
All right, well, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about the banger board for a second here. So this is something we haven't done in a minute. We haven't actually gone through and looked at all the beers that are on the banger board. Boys, let's see. We got 20 on the top 20 on the banger board, 31 overall. Let's start with just looking at the top 5. Okay, so looking at the top 5, are you thinking these belong here?
I think so. I mean, you can begin to split hairs on them all. The 2 Ill Will at the top, those stand alone.
It's hard to beat that, yeah.
So I mean, those are phenomenal. The Night Offering there from Fidens.
Mhm.
I'm a little bit surprised that came in at a 4.67. I thought it would have been a little bit higher, but I mean, you really can't argue with any of those 5 brews.
You think it's because it's a triple? Because I'm looking at these. So you got 2 smoothie sours, a quad, a double, and then a triple. Are you thinking these quads and triples are making it higher up on the board here?
To be honest, I think that for me, the surprise is the quad, to be honest with you, because I mean, most quads are, chest hair, growing chest hairs on you,
Mm-hmm.
kind of beers. But I mean, that one by Treehouse was phenomenally done. And I mean, like Mike said, we're splitting hairs with all these beers, because there's not a terrible, there's not even an okay beer on our list all the way to 31.
Right,
They're all great. So
Now,
I
remember,
think,
Treehouse doesn't make a lot of quads.
Yeah.
Right. And even when they make triples,
True. Yeah.
everybody tries to track those down. Same thing with Fidens.
absolutely.
Right? So,
Yep. But I think the quad just kind of surprises me, just because most, you don't see quads that much.
yeah, real
And
boozy.
usually they're boozy. They give you a nice warm belly when you drink them.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
But I think that quad I think it might have been just above 10 or 11. Like, it was pretty close to a triple, I think. But still, I think, and this goes back to a conversation, is like the triples and the doubles, like they are winning our hearts, but I think the top 5, these kind of do deserve to be here. Any surprises that you wish would be in the top 5 that were a little lower on our board?
I mean, I'm kind of surprised Hetty Topper. Right. I mean, we talked about that when we had Earl and Sev here or whatever. It's a classic, right? But I'm surprised that kind of wasn't higher than what it was. But that just speaks to the volume of the amount of beer and the variety of beers that we can come across now. And it's not just the legend that was running solo for a while, but it's everybody producing really good beers.
Yeah. I mean, they created the blueprint, right? And then everybody kind of built onto that blueprint, and from my perspective. But for me, the one that kind of stood out to me is not necessarily really the one that stood out to me that didn't make it, is the Parish Ghost X. I love Ghost in the Machine. I absolutely love that beer.
Right.
And it just kind of fell flat with me. So I mean, I think
that was
still
wrecked episode.
I mean, I think it's still a really good beer, but at the same time, like, it wasn't, I expected mind blowing, and it just wasn't there. Especially when you're using that staple of Ghost in the Machine, like, it's kind of similar to Hetty Topper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when you say Ghost in the Machine, and to beer lovers, they know what you're talking about. Hetty Topper, the same thing. And then when you say Ghost X, it's like, oh, from Parish, and that was one that I wish I had a couple more cans of, just to see where we were standing on that one. But
I agree. Yeah. Especially just on a series basis, like, that's kind of the redheaded stepchild to me. Like, it was just not the same as the others. Even this Ghost Foo, like, it's pretty, it's up there.
Right.
Me. So
then what do you think stands out? So, like, when you look at the list, what are you surprised that is on this list, or doing good or bad?
To me, I mean, I'm going to be real with you, man, because I brought Toppling Goliath, Turmoil, Cookie Monster to the table, knowing Mike hates barrel age. But hey, we've worked on that. We've worked on that with him, and
still never going to get there. But
I mean, but he's enjoying them a little bit more, maybe just this much, but a little bit more. And I think, that one surprised me, that it's sitting at number 7. Definitely the highest stout by a long shot. The Brewery 18, sitting at 18.
Yeah.
But I think that Toppling Goliath barrel age surprises me.
The other half, 10th anniversary beer. So this was one thing I'm thinking of. Just the three of us, we rate these things, and you can tell from an outside view, like, what we like.
Oh yeah,
right?
absolutely.
The more people we introduce into our circle, right, and to rate these beers with us, I feel like you ever look at Untapped and you see, oh, it's only a 4.2, and then you have it and you're like, this is a 4.75.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like the more people you put in the mix, it is more of a fair rating, I would say, but for like our taste, I feel like the triple dry hop 10th anniversary other half with 6 different collabs, I feel like it should have gone a little bit higher, but at a 4.5, I mean, like, I'm still not complaining.
That's still an amazing beer. Yeah.
So I can't believe the Goza
was as high.
Competes. Yeah. So, because I mean, if you look down the list, right, you're talking smoothie sours and a bevy of IPAs.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
This All Goza is on the list,
Yeah,
right?
and
Which is kind of
and I can still taste it. Like you said goza, and my mouth started watering because I started thinking about that fruit basket.
But
You know what I mean?
again,
it was
nano
so
brewery.
good. Yeah, yeah.
And for an 8%, like that blew my mind.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I was like, I thought all gozas were like 5%, 6%,
Right.
8%. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm
Sure.
pretty super stoked that we got a local,
Oh, absolutely,
like,
right? Yeah,
hey,
100%.
5-minute drive from
To
the
compete
house
with these
to
other
compete with these other big boys in the
Strongholds?
mountains.
Absolutely.
So early stages, congrats to our folks at Coastal. So I mean that's pretty badass in
I
my
agree.
opinion.
Yep.
I'll say I'm looking at the bottom of the list, right? So coming in number 30 and 31. So
The biggest disappointments.
so 30 was the Kolsch. Obviously, that's not a go-to for us. And there wasn't a whole lot of flavor there, so I don't really know how to rate it. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
What do you think about
and,
that?
And that's why, like, I remember when we had it, I was like, "What's the difference between this and a Bud Light?" I mean, it didn't do anything.
Yeah,
for
and
me.
I think this is one of the styles. Like I think
Mhm.
it's not.
I don't see Kolsch's, lagers, and pilsners cracking our list just because they're not a big flavorful
Yeah.
type beer. Like, I mean, look at our top list, like Feast for Crows, Impeached, and then we got a quad, a double, and a triple, and another not night offering, the Spanish Marie for a smoothie sour. Like, we're looking for flavors and things that just kind of wreck our.
And we did comment that this is it was a lake crusher.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We're sitting out floating in the lake. I wouldn't mind drinking
Yeah.
that. Lake.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not going to go to the fridge. 31 though, number 31 on the list.
Probably the biggest
Disappointment.
disappointment.
Yeah.
With Mortalis and Equilibrium, I would have expected way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just too much going on.
I think that's an IOU because
Yeah.
I'm sure that we'll see another collab with the two of them.
Oh, 100%.
We gotta try it
That'll
again.
blow our minds.
We gotta try it
right?
again.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
And I think that's one that's probably like, we talked about it a bunch, right? With just all the different nuts that were in that, like they were just clashing. I'm sure it was like, man, this is gonna be so good. And then it just, I mean, it wasn't terrible by any means, but it was definitely,
It was pretty bad.
it confused my taste buds. Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah,
It was-
yeah,
It was all over the place.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the banger board.
Yeah.
That's where we're at right now. We're in April. So let's check it out in July. See where we're at again. I'm sure it's going to continue to grow.
Yeah, July or August, right? Because
Yeah.
August will be the 8th month, so we'll be like 3/4 of the way to the awards ceremony.
Yep.
Next year, are we getting tuxes for that show?
Yeah. Black tie
Okay.
event. Yeah.
Black tie, definitely,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
There will be ticket. Yeah. Some audience members will be allowed to show up.
Do I have to-
$5 watching fee.
Do I have to wear a
We'll
shirt?
have like $15.
Do I have to wear a shirt? I could just wear a tie and a shirt
Yeah,
type of thing.
we get tuxedo T-shirts.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, so we haven't spoiled the surprise yet, but this show is an all sour show. We're going to be talking about our Zool trip to Knoxville 2 weeks ago, and then we have some other some competitors
Some challengers
that are in the mix here
Came to the table.
that we're gonna try out as well. So, Gabe, you are up first. We are gonna try the brand new.
Yeah, the new. So brand new, straight off the production line, Knoxville, PB&J mixtape. The new release was peach this year. So we're looking at 6.5%. We got we tasted it,
Mhm.
right? But I'm looking forward to really drinking this one. I rolled it before I put it in the cooler. So
Yeah, so Zool, wow. Where do we start, right? So I think we're going to talk about the first time we had it.
yeah. So we were all like, so one of the big, I'd say the biggest event the three Borrachos have done
Mhm.
before we even knew we were Borrachos, right? Like To be real,
We were
Yeah,
like the
right,
three
yeah.
amigos
I mean, we
at
knew
that
we
point.
were Borrachos. We knew
Yeah,
we were drunks.
We were
but
Borrachos. We weren't
we
We were just the three.
the three Borrachos. At
an
this
official
point.
licensed organization.
Yeah. So we went to Snallygaster. We're in DC, of course. Snallygaster's one of the biggest nation's biggest beer festivals, and
Cheers,
we
y'all.
tried it. Yeah, cheers. And we tried the OG, which is grape, at Church Key. So we've talked about that in previous shows. Oh, so
Man, that peach is so good. It hits you. It's good.
yeah, man. Like, yeah, wow. So we've had a lot of history at PB&J because when we were at Church Key, we were all three sitting at the bar at Church Key.
Yeah.
Aaron ordered it first, and he's like
I heard some guy talking about it. and I'm
talking
like,
about it. Yeah.
So we knew
Boom.
that we wanted to hit it at Snally.
Yep.
Mhm.
And so, and we knew some of the beers that were going to be there because they come out with that list and they have
Yeah.
all the breweries and all the beers that can be available.
And we're in the map on the map, so we're highlighting and trying to yeah.
We actually got together and we prioritized. We did that rack and
Yeah.
stack. And I know that we've talked about this before, or whatever, right? And so, but yeah, the fact that it was there was a big deal that night.
And we could, I mean, I think the coolest thing was we had clean pallets essentially. We got tall pours of it, and I think the thing that I think for our audience to really take in effect, if they can get their hands on any of these PB&Js, so they have grape, they have strawberry, they have raspberry, they have blackberry, they have blueberry, they have peach now. Also,
The king.
not part of the PB&J mixtape family, but
Close.
similar, fit for a king, which is banana and peanut butter.
Mhm.
Has a little, I don't know if they advertise it as honey, but it has that kind of banana,
Oh, yeah.
peanut butter, honey type sandwich to it. But I think the biggest thing for our audience to really note and really kind of make them want to go get one of these things is you drink it, take a deep breath, you taste the peach. You drink it again, you taste the peanut butter, you drink it again, you taste the bread.
Yeah,
and
so-
it is
so-
mind blowing.
So take a drink, breathe out.
Yeah. Just like we
Get
talked
all
about
the
with
flavors, right,
Michelle,
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
The other really big aspect about this is the mixtape release hits once a year.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yep.
And so you really got to time that out. Now I know that they do different releases throughout the year, so they'll do the OG release, and they did a blueberry one and all that kind of
Yep.
good stuff right prior. But if you want to go and get all the flavors together, you have to go in March. It's normally the end of March.
Yep.
And then-
PB&J mixtape release.
and you and I don't know how many thousand of your friends are there standing in line, and
Crazy.
Absolutely.
and it's limits, right? So it's per person. You get a quantity of every flavor, and then that's it.
Yep. So this year, everybody got 2 4-packs of all the flavors. The exception was peach and blueberry. Was that right?
No,
No,
peach
peach-
and grape. Were
Peach and grape. Okay, peach was 1 and grape was 4.
Four.
Four,
Yep.
yeah.
So, we really focused on the new ones that we haven't had. So blueberry, blackberry is phenomenal.
raspberry.
Raspberry is phenomenal. Probably the least favorite of the group between us three is the strawberry, and it's still really fucking good.
It is, yeah.
It's really good, but it needs a little bit more strawberry preservative flavor versus strawberry jam flavor, I think, in my opinion.
I mean, strawberry is a sweet fruit, right?
Yeah.
And you can argue that anything could be kind of sweet on the sweet side, but
Yep.
to me, it seems like that
It's over.
strawberry
Yep.
is very sweet.
Yep.
Like you said, it's still good,
Still banging.
but it's
Yeah, yeah.
not. It doesn't compete, I think, as well as the other ones.
Yeah. So we had a great time. And to lead into, do you want me to start talking about the weekend?
8-hour trip. Let's do it.
8-hour trip, road trip. We hit the Telluride,
Mhm.
Virginia, Tennessee road trip. Really hit Zool. They have 2 different locations. So we went to Hardin Valley. Great location, awesome merch. I mean, I know Mike spent a millionaire's fortune on merch, but they have badass T-shirts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like all their stuff is just legit.
They had a whole back room full of TVs that you can watch.
Yeah, they
sports
had
and
a
stuff.
like
That
an
was
audio,
awesome.
like a a video room that you could go back and watch games. And
Yeah, so-
obviously we hit up when Tennessee's in the
Outdoor patio,
outdoor
Right.
patio. Yep.
indoor kind of couches, high tops, all that kind of
Yep.
good stuff with the bar, and then around the back, a whole big viewing room.
Yep,
right?
yep.
And so, but
And
like
then you can't. They don't have any food there, but they got a shit ton of freaking opportunities
Restaurants
and
around.
restaurants
yeah.
around there. We made a critical mistake in picking Little Caesars as our food choice. But anyways,
we all paid that bill.
and we waited like 45 minutes for that trash ass pizza too. But they also have, we have the Hardin Valley, and then we have the Fifth Street, where that's where the mixtape release happens. Prior, while I was standing in the line waiting for a T-shirt, a lady was talking to me that lives in Knoxville and has lived there for a long time. She's like, "Yeah, this used to be a Volkswagen dealership." I'm a huge Volkswagen fan, and I was like, "Oh, that's extra cool," But you walk in, you can tell it's some type of a dealership, car dealership when you walk up to the spot. Super cool, like the showroom where you would see the showroom. They have their main bar, main seating area. They have outside seating, and then where the service department would be, tons of pinball machines. And when we showed up, shitloads of freaking pallets of beer. The first year. This year they did a little different, but they got seating and taster rooms there as well. So
Yeah. So we got there at like 8:45 for an event that started at noon.
yeah,
And so, and we did, like I said, we did it last year, right? And I think last year we got there about 10 or something like that, right?
yeah.
And so, we talked about beforehand. It's like, do you want to spend 3 hours in line before it starts or 3 hours in line after it starts? Because there's that many people.
Mhm.
And so, one of the cool things that happened to us, right? So as we're sitting there, here comes a guy that we meet
A
for the first
random
time.
dude.
Yeah, Chris Campbell.
Chris Campbell, legend.
And so this dude's walking down, and he has his own cups, and he has beer. And so he's.
And we're not talking about regular beers either.
Oh no! These are all barrel aged stouts, and I mean,
Mike's
these are
favorite.
obviously.
He had IPAs too.
And he had a couple
But
IPAs down the road.
At first,
but
right? Yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
coming through,
Yeah.
and literally offering a drink to anybody who's sitting waiting in a line.
It was epic, dude.
Doing the
It's
Lord's
like
work.
I can't even express how freaking epic it was.
So the dude was super cool. He comes out of Wisconsin. I think he'd moved to outside of Knoxville or something like that, whatever, right? But he knew about all the beers that he was sharing, and so he's shared all these stouts, and then he comes along with IPAs, and so you're sitting in line and you get I don't know, like a 3-4 ounce pour or whatever, right? Which is great because you got nothing to do but sit there and kind of BS.
Absolutely,
until
Yeah,
everything
you're
starts.
just sitting on your butt waiting for time, running into the
But come to find out that he's got some sort of weird connection.
Yeah, who's your buddy? Yeah.
With this dumbass Iowa hat that he's got.
Hey.
It's like,
Tell him to watch his mouth. It's not a dumbass Iowa State hat. But anyway.
That thing died in 1982.
Yeah, well, whatever. But anyways, so Chris knows one of my buddy that I went to high school with, Drew. They drink beer in Des Moines because he started popping out adventurous brews, which are from my home state, Iowa, which I haven't had the pleasure to have until Chris introduced them, and they were I think 2 or 3 that he shared with us, but they were they were really good. But it was just wild because I was like, hey, because not this year, but last year, my buddy Drew was like, hey, Gabe, my buddy Chris is there. Look for him. Well,
Look for him among the 5,000 people.
5,000 people, right? So,
Not gonna happen.
and then this guy starts bringing beers up, starts talking, and he just seemed like a really cool Midwesterner. And I was like, all right, dude, I got a really weird question for you. Just going to probably hit you out left field. And I'm like 3 barrel-aged stouts in. And I'm like, Drew? Oh, hell yeah, man. And it was wild. And, I hit my wife up on text, and she's like, no way. Because everywhere we go, there's somebody.
Yeah.
Always.
The thing that blew my mind, right? So it kicked off at noon, and the brew does a great job of getting people in, and they had a great setup this time.
Great system.
efficient. Yeah.
To get it, so everybody waiting in line is there to just get their beer limits or whatever they want to get, right? you don't have to wait in line just to go in there and start drinking off the taps and the food trucks and all that kind of good stuff. But they had a really good flow to get everybody in and out. So we grabbed our beer, and then we decided to be adventurous and hit the guest taps, right? Because Fidens was one of those guest taps, right?
Yeah.
Super awesome. So we jumped in line.
Yep.
I think we got a beer rather quickly.
Very quickly. Yeah.
Right,
I
but
mean, yes.
Yeah.
very
And,
quickly.
and so, here I am. I'm trying to get like 4 or 5 pours for everybody who's out chasing down beers or burgers or whatever.
T-shirts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you could get 2. You get 1 5-ounce pour and like 1 8-ounce pour. So, and then the problem we got into was the amount of people, because as soon as we got out of that, got our beer, got out of that line went,
Yep.
oh my God, out of
Yeah.
sight.
Yeah.
Probably 60 people.
And there was only I think there was 4 guest taps, and then of course you could get the mixtape releases, whatever
Right,
also.
yeah.
But there was, you just weren't getting back in that line. Like it was not making
Yeah.
sense.
I mean, and comparatively speaking for the audience, like me and Mike went last year. We went this year. There was a shit ton of people the first year we went. And we thought, holy crap.
Yep.
This year, they had to have twice as many people.
It was ridiculous.
It was insane. Like, especially, like, there was a lot of people last year in line waiting to get the beers. Like, it felt like the line was infinity long, right? And then it kind of faded out. This year, everybody stuck around. Everybody hit the food trucks. Everybody, and it was. But I commend Zool, because I really think like this year's what they did this year to get people in and out with their cases of beer was uber efficient compared to last year.
Smooth operation for that. Much better setup. I agree.
Yeah.
And even if you want to go and get pours, because they had 4 different pour sites that you could go and get. There was just so many people in line getting beer. So like people were getting a beer just to get back in line so they could get another beer.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, now the thing that's crazy also. So we, like I said, we're there like 8:45. We left about 1:30.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When we left, I bet you there were still,
Yeah.
I don't know, 500 to 1,000 people in line.
Yeah, it's an all-day event. Like when we got back to the Airbnb, we were watching their live feed and stuff, and it was just ongoing. Like they were there till
They sold out of everything.
like the
that,
first day.
That day,
Yeah.
on Saturday, they sold out of everything, I think, but blueberry.
Blueberry.
And then
Wow.
they had a text there, an Instagram, like noon o'clock, 3 o'clock ish time frame on Sunday on the way home.
Everything's gone.
Everything's gone.
Yeah.
And
Nuts.
I mean, like,
And the crazy part to me is we haven't drank we haven't really savored the blueberry yet, but like blueberry's
it's
fire.
strong. It's bold.
Oh, it
And
is, yeah.
especially the amount of cases that
Yeah.
they had of grape should say something. Like the OG grape is phenomenal.
Yep.
There's a couple of them that are above that, and if you look at Untapped, like they're pretty, like in my opinion, pretty well ranked. Like as to what I think is the best towards, but grape,
so
blackberry, raspberry, peach, blueberry.
So
and
I've
then
had
strawberry.
8 different PB&Js that were not Zool,
Mhm.
right? And they were grape, they were banana, they were raspberry, from 5 different breweries.
Mhm.
Now, those were all smoothie sours. Okay,
Okay.
we got it.
Fair. Yep.
Every one of them smoothie
Different.
sour. I don't think Zool's a fruited sour.
Fruited sour, and
Yeah.
it's a different. It's clear. It's a lot clearer. It doesn't have.
It's not thick.
Yeah,
No.
it doesn't have the
The
lactose.
highest I gave any of those, I think, was a 4 or 5. And the best one I thought was done by Ill Will.
Yep.
Bells of War.
Bells of War.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. But and I know that a lot of people will disagree with me. Everybody has their favorites. People like smoothies. People don't like fruiteds or whatever, right? And all that kind of good stuff. But if you're looking for true PB&J, no one does it better than Zool.
Mhm.
Lights out.
Hunter, I haven't had a lot the mini that you have, but I can't imagine tasting a PB&J that's better than the Zool PB&J.
Oh, yeah.
Like I just
That's-
with all 3 ingredients, and you
Yeah.
be able to distinguish all 3 of those ingredients. Like it's
and
phenomenal.
I think it's hard to do with the smoothie. Because even with the smoothie, you think, oh, that should be really good. It should be really kind of full bodied and really incredibly smooth. And the flavor doesn't get there.
No, yeah, because you got that creaminess, that
Absolutely.
extra thickness. Like there's a lot going on, but this one right here,
Yeah.
folks, like this one's probably at the top of the list for me for peach. I think it's peach. Blackberry and raspberry are really close together to me. I kind of like the blackberry a little bit more than the raspberry, but that's just me personally. Like they're really, really close. Grape is phenomenal. Blueberry is phenomenal. Like it's there. If you can get your hands on any of them, I don't care.
Yeah, go
Any
for
of
it.
them,
Go for it.
go for it because
It's
they're
super
good.
hard to do. They don't distribute. So,
Find it
yeah.
somewhere.
All right. So what do you give it?
And this is a tough decision. If there was like a 4.95, I'd give it to it. Just because I think there's, who knows what next year brings, right? So 5's the top of the mountain,
hopefully
right?
more increase
Yeah.
the limits.
Today. Today.
Peach
what would you
is
give it?
peach
Yeah.
is definitely my favorite now.
Yep.
So I'm gonna say 5. Like I'm gonna be an ass, and just like when I say an ass, I mean
Yeah.
I really feel like it's a 5. Like it is so good. It's sweet, but yet it's not over sweet. It's got the peanut butter. It's got the bread. It's good.
What do you think?
I'm going to go 4.75. I'm more of a berries guy. I do like the blackberry and raspberry a little bit more. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. Awesome beer. Awesome. But yeah, 4.75 for me.
So I was super excited. So this was the mystery flavor. We knew that there was going to be all these other flavors, but
And
we were talking about
we
it,
were
right?
talking about
we
it
were
on the
texting.
chat.
Do we
Like,
get it?
what do
Don't
we
we
think
get
it
it?
is?
Yeah,
What do we
right.
think it is?
And we
I think-
gave, I gave like percentages to it, right? And at first I thought it was going to be
Apple.
I thought it was going to be apple,
Yeah,
right?
I really
Until-
thought it was too.
But then like 2 weeks prior, that Zool came out with a green apple, a caramel apple.
Yeah.
And as soon as that happened, you're like, dude, this can be
Probably
peach. So phenomenal, right?
Mhm.
I'm going to go 4.75 also. Super delicious. Only because I think, I mean, that flavor, it hits you good.
Yeah.
But I agree with Aaron. I like the raspberry blackberry. Yeah.
I was thinking 4.75, but
It's phenomenal.
like to me,
Like-
I don't know how it can get better. I mean,
Well, you're a peach
Zool,
guy,
this is a
right?
challenge, dude. This is
I don't-
challenges, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
and I love peach. Like, I love peach.
I think they nailed it.
Yeah.
It's a 4.75.
Yeah, and the crazy
Like,
part is
that's-
peach is super sweet. Like,
yeah,
but this is sweet,
That
but
is-
it's not over sweet.
that is it is ripe peach.
Yeah.
Juicy ripe peach.
It-
It's phenomenal.
But I think it's
like
that.
taking a hit off the freaking peach can, like the peach syrup,
Yeah.
and then taking a
Yeah.
freaking spoon of peanut butter.
agree.
And you're freaking right. And
Actually,
then
that's
I
not
agree.
bad. That's
grabbing
not
a
bad.
freaking like a bad.
But it's that
piece of
fruited
bread.
sour. Like if it was a smoothie sour, it would be thick and it would be more rich. But like the fruited sour is light enough that you can still enjoy it.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
and
Yeah, yeah.
it doesn't get you full, but it's like all the flavor is still there,
Yeah.
and that's why I love Zool's version
Absolutely.
of this. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
super light and crisp, and just makes it work.
All right, let's bring out brew number dos. I don't know why the label came out all crappy, but I'm bringing Fourscore to the table for the first time. This is the strawberry red velvet cupcake. It is a 6%er and brewed out of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. So,
7 years ago.
hell yeah. So Gabe, you visited here first. You got me onto this, and it just so happens to be on my way back home. So I've visited it. So Gabe, why don't you tell us about your first visit while I
Yeah. So
Set some of these.
my family's the unfortunate victims of me picking vacations that align with really good breweries. So Fourscore going to Gettysburg.
didn't roll it.
Damn it, Aaron. But anyways, Fourscore was a really cool place. We got to see all the sights, and then obviously they make some really badass sours. They have the soft swerves that are really popular. So yeah, I mean, in the Jamba Juice, I think, is that one a Jamba Juice?
Yeah, it's a
Aaron?
Jamba series.
Jamba
so.
series. So they've got a lot of sours that they make. My all-time favorite, the reason why I really wanted to go is, one, they make really good sours. I discovered them in the Sour Fest at Ouzelfinch one year.
Oh.
Never heard of them before.
That's cool.
Went to vacation to check out, force the kids into some history stuff in Gettysburg. Went to Gettysburg. Awesome food.
Yeah.
My favorite thing.
Venue's awesome.
Everything. Like, they make really good beers, but my favorite thing is their logo, because I'm a huge Abe Lincoln nerd. And that's what they got. So
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers, Borrachos.
I could smell that cupcake vanilla right off the nose, man.
God dang.
That's got some tart.
Yeah, so my favorite thing, right? Driving up, through DC and then hitting Gettysburg. It is in this, literally the central part of historic Gettysburg.
Yeah.
So you're driving by statues, battlegrounds, and then you get into this little tiny city, and it's tucked in there. But the venue is great.
Mm-hmm.
I put a video up on Instagram. Check it out. But awesome food. Like, I had lunch there. I had a couple tasters. They got merch. I mean, it was such a great surprise. And just being from Pennsylvania, I did not know about this place until you told me about it. But the fact that they are bringing these awesome sours to the lineup of on a nationwide scale is awesome. So I had to stop there. I will literally stop there every time I go to home now. But this is their Valentine's series. It's
Valentine's 4-pack, right?
Yeah,
'Cause they get
Valentine's 4-pack.
Four
Yeah.
different. Yep.
So I stopped there right around the end of February. So not super fresh, but I mean, don't get me wrong. This is still pretty good, right?
This is great. Huge tart, big tart, and
Yeah.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
You said strawberry.
So it says strawberry, red velvet cupcake.
It's almost like a raspberry to me. Like, that's how tart it is.
It's got this dark berry.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was strawberry, yeah.
I
But
don't know, man. There's a lot of. Man, that is tart. But no, there's a good strawberry kick off the front,
Mhm.
but then that tart comes in, and then and that's what turns it down. So, and I don't mean turn it down like a bad thing, but like
balances it out.
it changes.
Yep.
So
To me, like, when that initial nose, you can smell that, like, red velvet
yeah.
cake vanilla-ness. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like you
that's super
moist
smooth
cake.
and subdued in here. I mean, anytime you can use moist in a sentence is always funny. But
Yeah. But I mean, to me, it was, like, it's the nose on it, and then you drink it, and it's got that pucker power that I call it. Like,
Oh yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, and that's something, I do have trouble with. So when you call it a sour, you do expect that tartness.
Mm-hmm.
But recently, those sours, especially the smoothie sours, have become just sweetness,
Yeah.
right? So how do you differentiate between, sweetness versus tart versus calling it a sour? Like, what else? I don't even know how to call
So
something else.
I think you get both in here, right?
Yeah.
So you get a big cake flavor in there, and you get sweetness. You can taste icing.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
So you get the sweetness out of that,
Cupcake.
and I think it offsets great with the tart that you get out of strawberry.
Right. This is like one that my wife won't touch a damn ounce of beer, right? But this one, I think she would enjoy, even with the tartness to it, because it's just so flavorful.
Yeah.
I think it's really good.
Now I'm debating. So when I did the taster, I gave it a 4 or 5, but just talking about it, I'm considering the 4.75, but I don't know.
Well, while you contemplate,
Yeah.
man, this is good.
Yeah,
good,
it is.
right?
It is very well
very
done.
good. I think for me it's a 4.5.
Yeah.
It's probably like a 4.7. But I don't think it gets all the way to 4.75 because
It's
to
close.
me, the peach is still better.
Yeah.
right? So yeah, I'm a 4.5.
So I allowed myself some wiggle room where you guys did not allow yourself wiggle room. So I'm going to say 4.75.
Yeah.
I think the cool thing about this is everything that it advertises on the can, and
Yeah.
we've had beers on the show before where it doesn't advertise the expectation, right? You read the can, and I think this one does it. Like you can taste the
Spot
vanilla,
on.
you can
Yeah.
taste the cake, you can taste the strawberry, raspberry. What you say it's strawberry. Like
Mhm.
initially, I thought it was raspberry because of the tartness, but I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah. You talked me into it. It's a 4.75 for me as well. I love the berry. It's just killer. And it's got this, I don't know how to explain it, but the icing and the cake, you can taste it all.
Yeah,
It's like
and-
you're literally
I'll do that,
eating
yeah.
a
And I think
cupcake,
it's one
yeah.
of those things like probably maybe it could be a difference of 2 or 3 degrees, like we talked with Michelle, right? Like maybe you had it fresh off the tap, it was cold, you tipped it.
Didn't
You've
get
been
all the
sitting here
flavors.
listening
Yeah.
to me ramble my mouth, right? And you got like 15 minutes, 20 minutes where it warmed up a little bit.
True.
So that's a great point because I think letting this come up temperature a few degrees really brings out all that
Yeah.
flavor. It explodes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially fruited sours, smoothie sours. I found that out. Like stouts, definitely, but the more I drink some sours, like I had a blackberry PB&J the other day, the mixtape, and I had it cold right out of the fridge, and it almost tasted like this is like carbonated, like too bright. It was like all the richness wasn't there.
Mhm.
Don't talk bad about that, please.
Well, hold on. Playing some video games for a little bit, come back to it half an hour later, boom, hits me differently
Yeah.
because it warms up. I think,
Well, and I think,
especially these new like richer sours, you need to kind of let it warm up a little.
right. And I think that's, initially your palate takes the coldness,
Yeah.
right?
I agree.
And then once that coldness goes away, you can actually, like, your brain can, like, differentiate what
Yeah.
you're tasting.
Okay, so we got through the Fourscore. Last but not least, we got
Yeah. So to the table comes maybe the best smoothie sour brewery on the planet
Well, I mean,
today.
competitor.
I mean, yeah.
banger board, don't lie.
Banger board, don't lie. There's 2 at the top, right? On top of that. So this is raspberries, brought to us by Ill Will, the greatest sport known to man, right off the case. Right there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so this is something that came through. I was lucky to get they had a recent release. It was a kind of a mixed 4-pack, and I know we've had a couple, right? Like the Shamrock
Yes.
and all that kind of good stuff.
Shenanigans.
That's right.
Shamrock Shake. It's
Yeah,
similar.
yeah,
Yep.
absolutely, yeah. So that's what this one is. We'll see how this one goes.
Ill
But
Will.
I would
Top
imagine
2.
that Ill Will.
Number 1, number 2 right now. Ill Will.
Ooh,
So
Go see them.
yeah,
okay. I mean raspberries.
raspberries.
Dude.
It's gonna be
I was
looks
I was
like-
a little bit concerned that this would have been really one of the thicker bodied ones, right? Because they have a tendency to bring some forward that are incredibly thick. 2 Qs.
2 extra thick.
Yeah. So all right. Cheers, fellas.
Cheers.
cheers.
Look at that. Beautiful redness. Mm.
Whoa. I was a little bit concerned. For whatever reason, my brain shifted to like some kind of like tomato soup crap on the beginning. I don't know. It just a
Well,
thing,
yeah.
the
The look of it, yeah. Sometimes.
but then
oh
man, that
wow.
yeah,
The flavor keeps on kicking.
dude, it don't stop.
Like it's like you have a straw in a raspberry, and that raspberry is the size of a watermelon, and you can just keep drinking out of it.
So this is definitely a brewery that we've talked about several times now. And we're lucky to get them from time to time. And it's a place that we want to go. So we've made our wish list of all these great places that we want to go. We talk about the New York tour, right? So we said that we want to go up
5-day tour.
5-day tour up through New York City, up through Fidens, up to maybe Treehouse or whatever, and
Evil
then
Twin,
all the way back
All the way
down,
back
right?
down. Yeah.
OG, other half.
Yeah,
New Jersey.
so we talked about and that's kind of like the wish list, IPA kind of tour, right? And then we also said, all right, hold up, we have to go see Ill Will,
Yeah.
because and they have an event in July, right? So you
Yes,
went
sir.
there last year,
Yep.
right? And so
The day after the event. So I was on my way back from North Dakota with the family and was heartbroken when I was sitting in Madison, Wisconsin, and seeing that July 27th of 2024 was the Ill Will Wu-Tang tribute release. Got to hit it up after the day after, unfortunately, but I think the crew is we're gonna try to make it happen this year. That's the goal anyway. We'll see what happens.
yeah, so we got a couple things on tap, right? And so we, as far as kind of like looking down the road of what we want to do, I know we want to. So it was in Columbiana, Ohio.
Yep.
Right, northwest of Pittsburgh. And so, we talked about going out there hitting that. And if you're that close, you got to go to Clag,
Sandusky,
right?
Yep.
So that's kind of a trip we talked about. But then we're also talking about like other big events, right?
Yeah.
We discussed going back to Snallygaster in DC.
Yep.
We've talked about going to Kill the Lights, right? Going back to Knoxville at
Yep.
Zool. They're a big event.
Yep. And for everybody that doesn't know, Kill the Lights got voted like the number
It was like
one or number two,
number
yeah.
3
Yeah.
brewery fest in America.
Yeah, number 3 beer fest. Yeah.
I mean, I know when it released last year, we were all like, damn, I wish we would have known, because we kind of we pegged out our beer traveling budget already at that point, and we were like, man, wish we could have made the Knoxville trip. But yeah, hopefully we can get Kill the Lights or Snallygaster. I mean, really, you're splitting hairs between those two. Like, Snallygaster's got so much going on.
Well, when you look at the two, so right, when we went to Snally, there was 200 breweries,
Oh my, more.
right?
There had to be more.
200,
Yeah.
300.
So
whatever.
many. There were so many. You didn't know what to do unless you did what we did, where you ranked everything you wanted to do.
Which worked
mean-
for the first 5, and then after that, it was like, oh, no,
It was-
let's roll.
Yeah.
Hammertown, yeah. But I mean, Kill the Lights, it's much more concentrated, but I think that it does cater to more of the breweries and the beer type that we like. So that's why we're considering that a little bit over Snally this year.
Like, I don't remember the
And Aaron
list.
can't lose his backpack in Knoxville.
Don't say never. Never
Story to
say
come.
never.
Hey, a little bit of a cliffhanger for y'all, like story to come later. But
We'll share that in another time.
yeah,
in the contents that we found in the backpack after a night of drinking.
So much.
Yeah.
Fun.
But, yeah,
when we say
so-
Hammertown, it was Snallygaster the first time. Left unsupervised. Wife stayed home. 3 Borrachos walking the streets of DC.
I think we walked
It was-
23 miles that day,
Yep. And it was raining and shitty,
and we had a great time.
and we had an epic
Yeah.
time.
It was awesome.
Until about 11:45 at night.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Snallygaster, Kill the Lights. I mean, you can't argue with the beer list, either one. Like
Yeah.
if Zool makes the beer list similar to what they did last year, you can't even argue like the top 5 in the United States, in my opinion, because they brought the who's who of beer drinking.
Yeah. So, like,
beer brewers.
I would love to hit, and it's important that we focus on the one. Of course, that's all in the air right now, right? Because we know that there's local things that we're going to do all summer.
Yep.
I mean, literally. So just Phoebus just had their beer event on Saturday. We were obviously occupied with other things, but that's going to go on all the time.
Always stuff going on, yeah.
And then the closeout event every year, Field Days.
Field days.
Yeah. So
Precarious.
For Precarious, yeah.
Yeah.
So that is a phenomenal event. We always.
I mean,
love
that's where it
going to
started, right?
Yeah.
For us,
started with 2 Borrachos, then it went to 3. Well, still, like, the second year was 2 Borrachos again, because a Borracho was laid up freaking dying with man flu, and then third year we brought the house down.
Yeah. And it's funny because every time we go there, people just don't know what the best beer is.
Yeah,
and it's amazing.
It's a beautiful thing for us.
It's wonderful, right? Because
because we know, and
we
set up camp.
We have run the house on RARs, on Fidens, on every good brewery that has showed up there, and people are drinking
mediocre beers.
Yeah,
and happy about it.
Oh yeah.
Like Fidens, there was 4 of us. Brian was with us. We were all just in a line. Like, we just did this circle of
And there's-
fill us up, fill us up, fill
There's
us up.
people standing in line to get ciders.
Yeah,
Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, all right, cool, knock yourself out, champ. I'm gonna keep killing these ones.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you
kill
get
these
there,
$10 beers while you're drinking
Oh,
those
you
$3.50
can't get 'em all.
beers.
So
Well, hopefully they watch our show and they learn that, hey, there are some better beers out there. There are some better
Hopefully they're not
breweries out
standing
there.
in the
the
same
people who
lines
drink
we
ciders are not gonna watch this show.
Yeah. All right, Mike. Let's get to some scoring here. What are you going to give this guy?
Man. So this is super good. But I've had better ill will, and I'm not sure that it competes with the cupcake. So to me, it's like probably like a 4.4, 4.5. I don't think I get there all the way, so I'm gonna go 4.25.
So, smoothie sour, or what is this?
No, yeah,
one?
it's a
Is
smoothie. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So, to me, like
It's
it is
5.5.
like, in what did you say the alcohol by volume is?
5.5.
5.5.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a smoothie style ale.
Yeah, they all say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
So
all say that.
I think, to me, like it is a fantastic brew. Like if you want something to just kind of change gears, really good. I'm gonna go 4.25. I think the raspberry is a little. It tastes like raspberry juice. Like if they put raspberry juice in a bottle,
Yeah.
that's it right there.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
I mean, and I love it, but I think a little bit too sweet, a little syrupy, but it's really good. But
Well, those reasons are why I'm going to give it a 4.5. Like, it is literally a raspberry.
Mhm.
It's so good. Oh, my God. And some of the ill wills, they are extra thick.
like, yeah,
Like,
thickest beers on the planet.
You gotta
I think.
yeah.
Probably
shake the can.
nobody's-
Without
you
a
gotta
doubt.
get it out. You're like, God damn. But this isn't so bad. But it's pretty light. I'm gonna give it a 4.5. I think it's right on the money on what it was supposed to be. The mixture of flavors that are in there, it makes it taste exactly like a raspberry. So 4.5 for me. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. What a show. Episode 6. We have wrapped it up.
A lot of bullshitting in this one, boys.
Well,
was.
you know,
But it was good.
It's been a
Yeah,
while.
I like it.
You know, we got to get our stuff out. Any closing comments from anyone? Starting with Mike.
Yeah. So now that we're in April, almost to Easter, I don't know how many people else out there love baseball and fishing, but baseball in full swing occupies me 5 to 6 nights a week, and then now fishing is about to be real. So looking forward to getting out there to do some bass fishing.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Gabe, what you got going on?
Cranking on the El Camino still.
Still?
It's an ongoing project that'll never end, but it's getting there. Once, like Mike said, it's baseball season. It's the happiest time of the year for me. Screw Christmas. The happiest time of the year is baseball season. Let's go Mets. That's all I got, man.
Not looking so good for the Phils right now. We're in a sort of a slump since we left Philly. But hey, you never know. We're only beginning the season, so
Early.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. But for me, yeah, with my dumb foot right now that I can't move, I can't do too much. So
Club foot.
I have invested into some video games. I'm working on some Legend of Zelda right now. Nerd. You can,
I'm a nerd.
You can call me a nerd, but it's awesome. Okay. So yeah. Hey, thanks for sticking with us and enjoying the show. We are happy to do it. We'll be back in hopefully a couple weeks. So here's to you and cheers to everyone.
Thanks for the support, y'all.
Cheers,
Hell
y'all.
yeah.
Appreciate you.
Love y'all.
Thanks a lot. Life's too short to
Drink beer.
shitty beer.
shitty beer. All right. Adios. Bye.